dead before I said let's fight.
No, that's impossible.
By the way,
BT Dubs is BTW. I'm gonna bust you up. Nope, I'm not coming down. Where am I? Help! Milk! Chance got $5.
the champ got 5 on it.
Back where it came from.
Back where it came.
Ah, here we go. Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Oh, I tried to go empty triple O. No, no, for me.
Wow. One live, you coward. Oh, no. I should have done that.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the First to 50 podcast, episode 30.
9, you bastard.
I can't believe he caught that. I really was hoping that that was going to be the one to really make him stumble, because I threw from downtown. But I have to keep my arms small to keep them in the green box.
You got a little like baby arms. I was expecting me to have to say 39, and then you almost caught me off guard by saying the third. And oh fuck, he's trying to fake me out.
Anyways, our dumb antics aside, this is a podcast where we talk about video games and movies and anime and stuff that we watch throughout the week. Last week, my vocal cords were shot. I'm sorry. I sounded like a raspy old woman. But we're okay. We're back this week. My demo is live on Spotify. If you want to go listen to it, look, Losing Game Demo 2026. There's 2 songs out there. You can listen to me yell at people. Not this guy, other people. But you had a question for me, Meshi, and I thought it would be nice to air it out on the air on our fighting game-esque podcast.
So I was curious what, like, if you had to be represented by a character, would you like a fighting game character or any character or like a blend of characters, who would it be? Because when I think of you, I think of like Ghostblade or like Virgil, and like making like some sort of like cool shoulder coat sword guy going around, walking around. But when I think of me, it's like, oh, muscle bound idiot with, just that looks cool and punches things.
Very, very good, Meshi. Very good. Yes, I tend to enjoy very hyper serious, tragic characters because I think I see myself in that light in terms of sad and too serious for life. You think about Virgil, Ghostblade, you think about Kazuya, you think about Toji. These are all characters that I gravitate towards. I have a type, Meshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about Kazuya when I was thinking about it.
Yeah, it is what it is, and I really like JoJo Part 3. So Virgil with Doppelganger and Ghostblade with his ghost, they're like stands, so I naturally like that anyways. It's little things. Man, so what kind of characters do y'all gravitate towards? I want to know that. We're going to start them off early and see if we get some responses. And if you have any questions that you would like us to ask each other, let us know down below in the comments. That would be fun. So next week, I can ask him something, or vice versa. And he can read the comments and be prepared and have an answer ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, do I love Virgil. And you thought it was the hair, Meshi. You thought it was the hair that I was envious of and I aspired to have at one point in my life again or something.
Yeah. You do seem
Far
like
from that. Far from that. No, no, no. It has nothing to do with that, Mishy. It has everything. Virgil has a complex, if you don't know.
no. I mean,
Um,
I hear it all the time.
it's people meme on it, but it encompasses him wholly as a character. Whereas I need more power. Because do you know why he needs more power, Meshi?
Because he is the storm that is approaching.
Not yet. That's later on, though. We're going
Oh,
way, way, way back. Because the most
oh,
traumatic point in his life, when his mother was killed by Mundus, he couldn't do anything about it because he wasn't strong enough, because he was a child.
ah, see.
And it
So,
started real early.
okay. So, at what point in the song is that? Because I never get there.
He's just being a jackass because I stream Bloody Palace and I play Bloody Palace in front of my friends, and the stages don't last more than a few seconds. So every time it says, "I am the then the portal opens up for the next round. Oh, bliss. um, I think Virgil might be the coolest loser of all time. He
Oh,
loses like every single fight he's ever in.
it's funny to think about that he could still be so cool and yet never be successful.
He loses to Dante in 3. Well, to be fair, like Virgil like washes him like easy the first time, but whatever. Dante beats him at the end of 3. He falls down to the underworld, loses to Mundus. Let's see. He stumbles back um in 5, and well, he loses in 5. Well, technically no. Technically that was a stalemate. But I mean him being, never mind. Spoilers, whatever. Virgil loses a lot, and that's okay. Can we make a Virgil podcast?
If you want, yeah, we can do whatever
Yeah.
we want. There are no rules here. We just have to get to first to 50. I think that's the only rule there is.
That's the only rule. Oh, that's something we played. We'll start there. Why not? Before I get into my ascending.
My God, yeah, we played Strive. Jesus Christ.
We did nearly a first to 50 um the other night, and you were playing Lucy. How have you been enjoying Lucy?
She is different than any character that I've ever played in a fighting game that I actually enjoyed. Because usually when I play those characters, I don't like them. But for some reason, I like her. I think it's probably because I'm playing a 500-pound brick most of the time in Guilty Gear. And she's simple enough that and fast enough that my brain's like, yeah, it's fine. This is fine. You can play this. I'm enjoying her, but I'm definitely seeing the delicious handicap that Gold Lewis provides me in health and in damage.
Yes, because she is a rushdown mix-up character with a kind of long. Yeah, she's got decent normals with a little whip and nay.
Yeah, the it is really it's very different. It's very different. She's not hard to get used to, except for some reason I can't do the stupid half circle forwards super, and that's what you really need to do damage on her. And my hands, they're not built.
They're not built for this. What about the full circles? Why can't I
Well,
churn the butter? The
I
Amish
just
do it. Why can't I?
yeah, I just need to be able to churn the butter and it'd be fine. But no, I can't. So we'll keep trying.
Yeah, she's fun. Well, she looks fun.
Yeah.
Um, I've so I'm taking it low and slow like a crock pot with jam. I like what's there. in terms of what parts of her toolkit they preserved. Um, the muscle memory is slowly fixing itself. Um, the only problem that I'm coming across is there's a lot of like characters who have long range normals. Jam's kind of stubby. The only answer to that is for her to literally do puffball. Um, I
That
don't
big
know if the
like orb
simplicity
explosion.
of doing puffball is like, I don't know if it's just too simple and my brain is just like not enjoying that as much in terms of like, well, I'm in the neutral, so I guess I have to puffball.
Which one is puffball?
Where she does the slide and she does the backhand with the giant cotton
Okay.
candy explosion thing.
Okay, so it was the move I was thinking. Gotcha.
Hashisho!
Yeah.
Um, um,
It hurt.
it hurts. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm still getting used to it, and it's still, it's still strive. So I'm not diving into the deep end, just be like, this is the only fighting game I'm playing now. I think I'm just gonna like, let me boot up and like play for an hour till I get annoyed and turn it off.
That's fair
uh,
enough.
So I'm taking it easy. It's one of these things where it's like, there's too much choice out there right now, and I still haven't really put the time into Blue Mary or Geese in Fatal Fury. I would love to play Mr. Big again. That was so much fun. I played him for one stream, and that was like amazing. He does what he likes,
Yeah.
Meshius.
Mr. Big does what Mr. Big likes. I mean, you can play him whenever you want. There are no rules here. You just have to get to 50.
You know what's hilarious about Mr. Big? Because he's like a goofball, right?
Right.
Like he's kind of a goofball, but he's got the big coat and he's got the ladies, and he hangs out. In If he fights Nightmare Geese and Geese beats him, guess what Nightmare Geese says to Mr. Big?
Probably something about like, you're not so big now, are you? Or something like that.
Meshi, he says, you, sir, are pure evil. He says that to Mr. Big.
That is
Oh my god.
not at all what I would have ever guessed.
I fucking died laughing when I saw that. I wasn't even upset that I lost. You are pure evil. Oh shit. Yeah, so that's our fighting game update for the week.
We're supposed to do Killer Instinct, right?
Yeah, I need to find a day that works for everybody, because apparently everybody I play the First Ascendant with tends to enjoy Killer Instinct specifically. Most people I play with, Meshi, you'd be surprised, they're console players.
Oh. Actually, no, I think I saw that. I was like, huh, all those people Scum are playing with a console player. Look at that. Like, Xbox,
Yeah, so
PS5. What is this bullshit?
PS5, Xbox, it's like tends to be like, I look at the Steam charts and you're like, let's just even look at it right now since we do it live. 24-hour peak was 5,246. So we got about like 5K players on PC. Every person I nearly see, it's rare that I see PC players. Most of the people I think this game is just like played on console, because every person that comes to my stream is on a console, and that's pretty much all I play with.
Interesting. Okay.
So they found their niche. So that's, I guess, what's happening.
I don't know why that's interesting. I mean, it feels like it should be interesting, but it's just kind of like, yeah, of course, two of those are like really big, the big consoles. So of course there would be a majority of people that you run into are either on a console or a PC.
But you think about it, not console PC. It's just literally console, Meshy. You don't
Yeah,
see PC people. This is the
you
min
are the
maxi.
PC people.
I am the PC person.
I am the one that PCs.
I am the bandwidth that is approaching. um, but what is interesting, Meshy, is the 5,000 current PC players. Do you know what's funny about that? Every single
Mm.
time a new outfit pack hits the Steam store, the first to send it rises through the top selling games to like the first page every time.
There, there is an innuendo in the so low hanging fruit.
Well, we're all waiting, Mishy.
Oh, I'm just saying, like every time a new outfit comes, the reason that the penises rise with your outfit packs.
You're damn right, Meshy. Guess what? A new outfit pack is coming. And guess what it is this time, Meshy? Sports. Go
Sports?
sports.
Hold on, let me go
Yes.
back to that first one. My desk
So
just went.
Haley has the we'll go back through these. Haley gets the XFL like bikini football thing. You remember that way back in the day,
Yeah,
Meshy?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This will cycle back through.
That one.
So, you know, Mel's got the volleyball player. Um Volby's I think is the best. Volby ended up getting a little baseball uniform.
What is Haley's supposed to be?
That's what I just said, Meshy. The XFL.
Oh, oh, yes, you did.
He's losing blood as we speak.
Yeah, I am. You said Haley, and I didn't see her name pop up next to that one because I don't
Oh.
know them by their faces. I know them by their asses.
Oh, yes, I do tend to run. My camera is always behind the characters. So we got
So
Haley. She's got this whole kind of get up. And Nell's got the classic volleyball player outfit, which I like. And she needs more outfits, honestly. Um, Daya got the fencer. She's the spear lady, so that's kind of funny.
oh yeah,
Um,
okay, that is good.
so they made her a fencer with full headgear. Um, And then Luna got the runner's outfit, which is kind of funny that they didn't give this to Bunny, considering she's the running character. But I think Bunny has too many costumes, and I don't think Luna has that many, so I think that's why they did it.
That makes sense.
And then yeah, I think Volbee's is kind of the best. It's kind of great. And Freyna got the tennis girl outfit. I'm eating good, Meshy. I keep getting outfits, and I keep being okay with it. And then Serena got what'd you call this?
It's not doing anything for me. It looks kind of like a cheerleader outfit, I guess, or
It looks
golf.
kind of like a
It's golf.
cheerleader. Is she a golfer?
I think it's golf because the skirt. I've seen kind of the skirt design. I could be wrong, but I think it's golf.
Or is maybe Freyna golf? And is
No, because I went tennis on that one as well when I saw it. But
okay.
we may have them reversed. Maybe that's the tennis one, and this is the tennis one, and the other one was the golf
She
one.
does have the little wristband. What does Freyna
Yeah,
have? The Freyna's got a glove, right? Yeah, she's the
yeah,
golfer.
she's the
Dude,
golfer.
what? Maybe?
Tennis players
Dude,
don't usually wear gloves.
okay, then definitely. Then my girl is pinkies up.
Yeah.
I like how this has turned into a whole segment of us breaking down the outfits. Um, they just
I
surprise
mean,
me at how big they are every single time.
yeah. I mean, the easy way to tell is, does Serena, whenever she hits somebody, go ah
Ah!
ah?
Ah! Well, we'll wait for in game to see if she gets a custom voice pack for her outfit. But yeah, it's been fun. This is pretty much all I've done for 2 weeks. Has just been playing the first Ascendant with people. I have wonderful people who play Luna and buff me, so I can play crit Freyna, so I do big stupid damage and do silly things. I think I ended up doing. Where is my Discord?
Luna's
I
the
ended
music
up.
one.
Yeah, she's the music one, so she acts as a buff character. Um, and it helps raise your crit rate and I think your crit damage. I think, but I could be wrong. I kind of don't know
Definitely
what I'm
not
talking
raising my blood levels. Um,
about. Yeah, I ended. This was off a single rotation. I think I had double loot. I did 3.3 billion damage to Wall Crasher. Um, that's the highest amount of damage I've done to Wall Crasher so far. It was kind of funny watching the thing fall over in like 19 seconds. Um, um,
That's a lot of damage.
that's a lot of damage, But poor Wall Crasher didn't have any flex tape too.
Is Do you consider one rotation for you the ammo in your gun, or when you use all your abilities, die and then come back? That's one rotation.
Well, in this case, it's both because pop my abilities, I roll, I pull out my snot gun, and I shoot all the bullets in my snot gun at Wall Crasher. I don't even think I shot all the bullets before he died.
Gotcha.
Let's see. How much life does he have? Uh, I'm curious if any nerd has actually calculated how much life he has. Um, so with 8 players, it's around 4 billion.
Oh my
Three
god.
point three of that was me. Or that's what the nerds on Reddit are speculating. I can't speak to that any further, so I don't, you know. But that's pretty much it. I've just been enjoying playing the game, and I actually played Essimo. He is really funny. His ultimate version's coming out. Um, I had a person redeem points for me to build Essimo before he came out. He runs around. He does a belly flop that does AOE damage. Um, he sniffs his arm. It's kind of great. Um, so I hope his ultimate version comes out and it's really good. Just for his players, because I know there's a few of them. I've met a few of them via rating on Twitch. He's got his fans, and I hope that they are gonna enjoy the ultimate version of him to come out. He's got a cool little skull helmet, so I'll be kind of excited to see that.
Have they
But you've
said
gotten
what
up to
his
some. Hmm?
abilities yet? What the
Nope,
difference is?
nope, nada. You have no idea. Be
Huh?
funny if he became a buffing cheerleader like Luna or something. Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
More body slams, more belly
Oh,
dives.
they're so good. The only problem with the belly dives is he has a get up animation where he's like, "Oh yeah," but you're stuck in place and can't do anything for like 60 seconds or no, like 60 frames. It's kind of a lot.
Detriment
Um,
to your health.
a little bit. If they don't die from the body slam. Uh, Meshi, you played Cyberpunk?
I did. I was looking for a game to play, and I realized it's been 2 years since my last, almost said confession. It's been 2 years since my last um playthrough of Cyberpunk. I only played through Phantom Liberty once, which was the expansion pack. Um,
Yeah.
and I've gone back. I have a new character. I'm trying out a new build that I haven't done before, which is the what are they called? The hacks, the cyberware hack thing. Oh my god, I can't think of what they're freaking called. I should know this. I've just played the game.
You're playing Lucy.
Yeah. I'm playing Lucy basically. Um, it is very different from what I normally play, because normally I'm like either like weaving it out with like sword and dashing around and murdering people, or I'm just gonna go in there with like shotguns and blow people up and toss grenades everywhere and have like explosions or whatever. So I have like usually just a lot of health or a lot of ability to dodge everything.
Mhm.
And in this case, I don't really have that because I'm building pure tech with some
Mhm.
things get sprinkled in there. I'm not that far into the game, um, but it's a very different play style when you want to just hack things and like cause people to slowly die or make them blind or you know light their hair on fire. But I can see the potential that it's gonna be kind of fun because you can like hack the cameras and then hack a turret and then take control of the turret in the middle of them and then just kind of murder all of them in a circle around you. So
Mow them down, and you enter the room, be like, "That was easy."
meanwhile the turret is still on and then it just kind of shoots at you. I forgot to turn it off.
Ah, my
Um,
humerus.
no, but Cyberpunk is like because I played it when it first came out, uh,
Mhm.
with all of its weird issues, and it was fun. It was fun enough for me back then, and now
Fixed it.
they've changed so much in like terms of like the talents and like how the game works that they made it a lot more fun. It's just an all around fun game. It reminds me of a better Skyrim in terms of like going back and playing it over and over again. Um, so I highly recommend Cyberpunk 2077.
I've been itching for a playthrough. I've been needing an excuse. I want to do a punch build, and
Oh, the punch
um,
builds are so fun.
I wanna do so. It's just the time investment. Do you feel like an old man where you're like, who has the time for how long of a playthrough is Cyberpunk? Like 40 hours, maybe.
If you burn through just the main story, it's maybe like 18 hours, maybe. If you're just burning through the main story.
Yeah, but
If you're doing like
yeah,
all the side quests and stuff, that's where the main kind of game is.
yeah. Google AI says 25 to 30 for main story alone.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, really, the main story doesn't. I don't remember it being that long. Like if you just went straight through it, but I could be wrong. I could
Yeah,
be
how much
missing.
of that was encompassed with you as a person who decided a majority of your playthrough was just going around and doing stuff, and then
Yeah,
occasionally like biting off bits of the main story to then go do other stuff.
yeah. How long did I delay meeting Hanako and Embers? How long?
How long? If our Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough is anything to go off,
I
well,
wanted you
Scum,
to experience it. God damn it!
well, see, Scum, if we don't squeegee that side of the map right there, we'll never know if there's anything for us to do inside those three houses. So we better start at the first floor and work our way up.
Oh, look, some carrots are in this chest. Worth the trip.
How's your eyesight these days? Do you need some? Hmm? Why are you standing at the edge of the map? Let's
Look,
go, Meshy.
look. No matter what you say about that playthrough, the 60 hours it took to get to the basically fundamental finish of my life was worth it. In which I was completely rejected.
She would have rather died.
I would have rather died.
uh, she, bless. Don't worry. I enabled my traumatized person to continue being traumatized and um kill her own parents, and yours said, "I'm gonna blow up in front of you. Leave me alone." I'd rather burst the flames than be with you. It has Macho Man Thompson. No,
I
come
can't
back.
face you.
uh, we'll get back to it. So at some point someday, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do a redux, and we're going to correct all the mistakes that we made. We're we're bigger and better people, right, Meshi?
Of course. That's why I play a
You
dwarf.
see the shoulders, you know. Maybe you're more rotund. I don't know. So there's a game that's currently on fire, um, and the devs have called out for anybody to post any clips or any stream moments or literally anything to any short form social media platform because they don't have marketing budget. It's a small group of developers still left, and they're like, please try to put the game out there in any way possible
Have they
because we don't have the money to push it anymore with the new updates coming.
have they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched a whole video of a guy, and he was like, "Well, I'm trying to do my part, and I want to encourage people to make content for this game because they don't have a marketing budget to push the new stuff that they're essentially making a whole tower PVE mode and all this stuff." And yeah, he it was a video essay on why content creation matters and why you can do it too, even if you've never played this game before. um, there's my mech. So we played this and we did the extraction mode. That's the first PVE form where you just kind of go into a map, you try to loot some gear, and then you bounce. They're about to introduce like a tower mode where you like go floor by floor and you don't have to worry about exploding. You won't lose your gear if you bring like cool stuff into it. So they've realized that this game kind of shot itself in the foot, Meshi.
Yeah.
They tried to make a PVE VP game and make it if you explode with your good gear, you'll lose it forever. Get good. And I think that kind of hurt how many people were going to play it initially.
Yeah, that those kind of games are for a specific sort of masochist, and there's not a lot of them. They're all
Yeah.
playing some other form of it.
Yeah, but so we did the simple PvE extraction mode. How did you like it, Meshi?
it it is honestly fun. Um, I I haven't really played too many mech games in my lifetime. To be honest, I think I've played like an Armored Core game back on like the PS2 or something like that. Um, but it's fun. Like your mech is fast. You or well, the mech I picked the first time wasn't fast, but but it feels like really powerful and fun and um it's just kind of a simple game, but it just lets you drive a giant robot, and I'm kind of looking forward to playing it again and trying to unlock that one punch mech that I saw right before we logged off that day, and I was like, this is so stupid. I love him.
It's so stupid. I love him. It's surprisingly fun. It really feels like uh, the the mech I played the most was at first was the heavy sniper Aquila. So I would just aim my I felt like I was playing Gundam Wing, uh, endless waltz, and I was in the sky with the giant beam rifle, just be like, all right, there's a guy, bam, he's dead. Rotate this way. Oh, there's a guy, bam, he's dead. It's still pretty fun, but I ended up landing on I forgot what her name was. She was in the trailer. She's like a stealth light sniper, and she can make clones of herself, and you charge up shots, and all your clones shoot the same target. So it looks real cool. I like it. I hope the tower mode's fun. So we're gonna probably play it, at some point again.
Yeah,
And
I'm looking forward to it. I
I
could
hope.
definitely play this game. Uh, not as like a career, but I think it would be fun every now and then to join up with friends and fight things in a mech. The only thing that could make this game even better than the stupid punch mech I want to pilot is if every time you killed an enemy mech, you got to hear the pilot do a death scream.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, apparently we're it's called executions. Oh, apparently you can make them scream horribly.
Oh. Well, the game just got better.
I know, Mega, because they made another game that's as actually saved by Snow. Oh, the same people made Snowbreak. That makes sense. I know of that game. Um, but yeah, so I hope the PVE mode is fun because we're gonna play a PVE mode in another game tonight after podcast. We're gonna be playing the new Marvel Rivals PVE mode. I hope it's fun. I hope it's fun.
I mean, the last one they did was the zombie one. Right? Was that it? Was that at
Yeah,
Halloween that they did that one?
I think so.
I think it was
Around then.
Halloween. Yeah, it was somewhere. That was That was decently fun. I mean, that the second part of that mode was way better than the first part of it.
Yeah, because the builds got even crazier and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It just needed more character.
Yeah, it does need more characters. So I'm curious to see what's there. I literally have looked at nothing. I wonder if I could play Felicia, because if I could play Felicia, I'll probably just grind my MasterCard into dust on my desk to play Black Cat.
I
Oh,
Although I mean the only I've only seen like bits of it and it's like vampires, I think, and like Dracula's the final boss or something like that.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. He's like,
Morbius is the
yes,
boss.
defeat me.
He's morbid out. Remember that the meme got so heavy that Sony put it back into theaters thinking that people were going to go watch it?
I know, right? That's so fucking crazy.
Oh, it's little
It's
things.
morbid time.
It's all the memes of just people like, he's going to say it, right?
He's gonna say it. It's gonna be in. I am so surprised that when they put it back into theaters, they didn't just add in a line where he says it's morbid time somewhere in there. Because
Beshi, that would require them being in touch. Because if they would have done that, that single little notion of a scene of just even voiceover would have probably driven people in mass to go watch the meme live. But they're
it would
so out
have.
of touch, they didn't know what to do with it.
No, they
Release the
didn't.
morbid cut. It's a damn shame because it could have been something. It just required literally Meshi, you being in the office, being like, what if we actually voiced over him saying it's Morbid time at one point in the movie and it would cost next to nothing and it doesn't have to be Jared. It could be someone here.
Yeah. I'll do it.
It's Morbid time. Oh, but
Oh,
that's the
shit.
Sony for you. They're just out of touch and out of mind. It's just they can't help but just fail. And I'm not, you know, whatever. Speaking of movies, Meshi, we watch those, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, all the time.
What do you watch? What's this?
I watched Wolves with I keep wanting to call him Matt Damon. He's not. He's Brad
Matt
Pitt.
Damon.
Yeah. Sexy Brad Pitt and the other guy whose name escapes me, but you
George
said
Clooney.
before. George Clooney. Thank God someone remembers who this old man is. Um Matt Damon and God damn it.
Brad Pitt. Oh my god.
Brad Pitt and George Clooney have like such good chemistry that even if like the movie is like terrible, I think it works just kind of for them.
Hmm.
This movie's not great, but like you watch it for these two just bantering back and forth. You don't really watch
Yeah.
it for the story that's unfolding. Cuz they're both they're both just they're not crime scene cleaners, but they basically come in and fix people's problems because they accidentally like killed the person in their room or stuff like that. And George Clooney thinks he's kind of old, as you can see this, and he thinks he's the only one that could do this job, and he keeps telling everyone that hires him like, I'm the only one that could do my job, there's no one else, there are no others, it's just me. And then he goes through like a specific scene, and then fucking Brad Pitt shows up doing the exact same thing that George Clooney just did. And like you just kind of go through this night that they both get called to this lady who thinks she killed someone, and so it's them trying to clean up her mess. Um and they're just kind of going back and forth, and you're learning that like because George Clooney's like, oh yeah, I've got a guy, and Brad Pitt's like, oh yeah, I have a guy. It's like, well, whose guy do we want to use? It's like, yeah, rock paper scissors, or they call and they don't answer, so they're like, all right, let's go with your guy, only to find out that it's the same person on for them. They're like, your guy is my guy, and he's like, yeah. That fucking I, that was that's such a great scene in the movie. I can't believe they just ruined it with the trailer. That
Yeah.
kid, they
Uh,
like thought he was dead, and some woman like injects him with a shit ton of
Adrenaline or something?
Adrenaline, yeah, and he basically freaks out and starts sprinting through the streets in his underwear trying to get away from them because he thinks they're trying to kill him. And Brad Pitt is chasing him through like stores and alleyways and whatnot, and George Clooney is getting in his car. He's like, "Fuck this!" and he's just driving around trying to outrun him, and he just runs out in the middle of the street when George Clooney's driving up, and it's just a slow mo scene of that kid just fucking jumping over the car, and, and it's a great scene. This movie is it drags on a bit. Some
Uh-huh.
parts of the story don't make sense, but Brad Pitt and George Clooney just have such chemistry that it's fun to just listen to them bitch about how old each other is. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Don't hurt your back." It's like, "I'm not gonna hurt my back." And he's like, "Ah, my back." And then like 5 minutes later, Brad Pitt's doing the exact same thing where he bends down and you just hear
Oh.
crack, 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 crack. He's like, "Oh,
Uh, getting old is fun, isn't it, Meshi?
oh, always, constantly."
So you'd recommend Wolves?
I recommend it for, like a fun, dumb.
That's what I wanted from it. That's all I wanted from Wolves because I've been putting off watching this movie. I guess it's only been out a year. I thought it'd been out for longer.
It's a 2024. Yeah,
Okay, maybe 2 years.
close, almost 2 years.
Okay, so I watched Metal Skin Panic Maddox '01. This is a 1987 OVA about a kid in college, and he ends up accidentally being delivered a mech suit, an experimental mech suit, and he accidentally gets trapped in it because he's going through the manual and he gets stuck and it locks him in. And then he proceeds to get launched into Tokyo, and the army proceeds to try tracking him down. And the main antagonist is a tank general who has a vendetta because at the beginning of the OVA, a lady pilot washes his whole tank squad in a demonstration match. There he is. That's the tank guy. And so it comes down to them having to go retrieve this mech suit. And he's like, I'm going to fucking kill it. So
Oh,
this
right
poor
from
kid
Cat
is
House.
trying to learn how to pilot this thing, and it just sucks. um, and he's trying to get his girlfriend's gonna study abroad, and he's trying to get to her at the end of the movie just to say, I got 1 day left. I'm gonna go see her and be like, I actually love you, and I don't want things to end. But he's trapped in this fucking mech suit while the government is trying to kill him. um, it was it's very like whenever you watch 80s anime and you watch 90s anime, there's a very, especially like tonally and like visually, they have very distinctive styles. um this was genuinely fun to watch. It's literally 40 minutes. It's just the kid gets in the suit, as you can see right down here, 41 minutes. um Animated beautifully, everything done by hand, every little piston, every little gear turning. It was a treat to watch, and I liked salty old man in the tank having a fight with a kid in a mech suit. And his superiors are like, he's probably the best like tank guy to ever grace the battlefield. He was just born in the wrong time. Because tanks are getting phased out. Oh, what a band! So that was fun. I would watch it. I've put off watching this because we watched Full Metal Panic. Am I getting that name right?
That
I'm getting
sounds
nothing from.
clear.
Um, yes, Full Metal Panic. With the little child soldier guy who just doesn't get it. Who shoots that that one fucking
Oh
monk guy
yeah,
with the shotgun.
okay.
So that was like the spiritual successor to this. Um, Is his metal skin panic? Anyways, a bit of
Gotcha.
whatever
Okay.
there. Let's talk about some disappointment, shall we?
Perfect. I love disappointment in small doses. This was a big
So,
disappointment.
so we watched a trailer a few episodes ago of the Yeti, and we were excited because it looked well. This trailer makes it look pretty awesome. About this squad of people going to rescue some people who've been stranded on a mountain because they were attacked by. Well, they don't know what they were attacked by yet. Um,
It just made it seem like it
God,
was going to be like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or some like dumbed down Avengers who were just like they were each their own like wacky character and they were just going to go fight some Yetis.
yeah, and it was gonna
And it
be
wasn't
fun or
that.
whatever. God,
Yeah.
this movie was so boring. Like I could tell it was like we knew it was low budget, but we thought it was gonna be just kind of fun and stupid and like this guy with the beanie and the radio, and then you got the guy with half a face and a gun. Um, it just kind of sucked. Most of it was them talking on like a soundstage, and just kind of like,
They really shouldn't have tried to be as serious as they were trying to be, especially when most of them don't feel like they could act or seem like they could
yeah.
act.
And like they lean in kind of funny, like the one dude with half a face, like he's like get away from the windows, but he decides to stand with his back to the window, and the Yeti like grabs him by like through the stomach, but the girl's holding onto his intestine, and like she keeps holding onto it as she's pulled out the window, and it's just like unraveling as she's holding on to his small intestine, and like that part's silly, but they tried to be like too hyper serious and then the stupid scene of like the one guy crawling up to like the top of the radio tower. She's listening to her headphones and like just like zoning out to music, and it's like, oh my god, like why are you
Why are you an idiot right now?
of all things, you know, it just wasn't fun. It just sucked. It just sucked
Yeah.
really bad. I wouldn't recommend this.
I'm so disappointment. So disappointed.
Well, the trailer had such promise. You kind of watch that and you're like, this could be sick. This could be awesome.
Yeah, it could be a dumb fun movie. And it
It
just
wasn't
turned out to
awesome.
be a no fun movie.
Ass.
I give it two
uh,
Yeti feet down.
um. So I watched a little anime OVA called Soul Blanca by Bionica, whatever.
Ah, close enough.
um, you know, so I have seen compilations of music on YouTube that uses a lot of the animation from this because it's very stylized and cool with like synth in the background. Never watched it. I just have to say, Daisuke Ishibutari, creator of Guilty Gear, you fraudulent fraud. This anime is about a group of lady space pirates who go around stealing stuff.
Okay, sounds fun.
Their names are literally the months of the year.
Of course they are.
Meshi, the jellyfish pirates from Guilty Gear are literally female pirates named after the months of the year.
Oh my
He
god.
didn't even try. It was like, oh, this person's name's July and this is Jan or January, you know, and like it was 2 episodes. It was pretty cool. Like this is more, as you can tell, this is a 90s anime.
Yeah.
It's animated real cool. I just had fun watching space pirate ladies fuck stuff up and just kind of, you know, have fun. It was kind of cool. Um, they get real close to lesing out.
Oh, real close. But we don't have the runtime for that.
Yeah. So I had fun with it. It was just kind of funny seeing the inspiration that Daisuke took for the Jellyfish Pirates, and was like, oh, what about these space pirate ladies? And All those quirks. It was a fun time. It was only 2 episodes, so probably like an hour and a half in total. Um, I was feeling real OVA-ish these past couple weeks, and those two weren't bad. Those two weren't bad at all. Um, I think you watched a little something that now I'm interested in. What is
Let
this?
me tell you about the amount of disappointment I had with this movie.
It's Gimli.
Yes. Yes. And no. Um
Oh.
this movie, so I was watching this movie. It's supposed to be like a Cthulhu-esque monster, but without like the psychic powers. So kind of just like the horrificness of it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um this movie felt you know your movies that you watch that were like Crocodile versus Python or whatever, that they were just like
yeah.
made for TV movies back in the day that were on the Sci-Fi Channel, and you could really tell that they didn't really get the best actors for it.
Hmm.
This felt like one of those movies, but with a little bit bigger budget. And and if you know that that's Gimli, you know that he was in a lot of those movies in the past.
Was he? I had no idea. I only knew him as Gimli.
Yeah, he's done quite a few of like those sci-fi made for TV movies where he plays like the big bad guy that usually invests in whatever creature it is that's there. Um this this movie had such promise, like, for me, because I was just looking at like the creatures or whatnot. So
Yeah, it looks
anyway,
horrifying.
it opens up with like an asteroid falling to Earth, right? And
Hmm.
it's like I think they said like 400,000 years
Oh,
ago or something like that.
yeah.
Um and basically this creature comes from that asteroid, goes in a cave, and it shows you kind of as time passes, like creatures dying by going near this cave. And then you
Hmm.
show like the first humans, and they try and fight it, and then it kind of goes into the future. Um, and when this movie is talked about, they're like, oh, it's always described as cave explorers go into a cave and find something buried deep, right? And you're like, okay, so it's kind of like The Descent, or I forget what other movie
Yeah,
kind of does. There's another movie that does like the cave thing, where they just keep going down further and further, and they get trapped, and then they wind up finding this creature, and that's kind of what I expected. Because the creature has been in this cave for like 400,000 years, and nobody's kind of found it, or no, everyone kind of knows about the rumors about it, but no one goes and looks or investigates or whatever. And it's like, okay, that would make sense in the context of it's really deep, and then people kind of wander into this cave and get lost.
yeah.
Everyone in this movie, no, not everyone in this movie, sorry, because they have to have the initial like, this is how the legend got started. So
Hmm.
they introduced people going into the cave. Um, everyone that goes into that cave dies within like 10 feet of the entrance. The monster isn't deep inside this cave. It's literally at the entrance of this cave. Um,
It's right there. He's
it's,
just.
it's right. It's right there. So like the main character's grandfather goes into this cave because he it was back in like the 60s or whatever. He had like a camcorder, and he was like, I've been investigating the rumors about this creature. I really want to know about it. So he goes into this cave without telling anybody else or having anyone with him. And within 10 feet or 20 feet of going into this cave, immediately dies. Just gets grabbed by it and killed. And then her mom of the mom of the main character wants to go find her dad. And so she goes into the cave and dies within like 20 feet of the main entrance. Um, and so everyone's like, where are these people? Because they have a police investigation for the grandfather, and it shows all the police there and all the bloodstains over the wall and stuff, but they don't get attacked. But they also don't go further into the cave to find the thing. They're just like, yeah, it was an animal of some sort. And and they develop the footage, and one of the scenes is, it shows kind of like this weird outline of this monster, and everyone thinks it's fake and whatnot. But So the main girl. Oh my god. I want to describe this movie so bad. Okay, I have to tell someone about this movie. I
Live
have to be
witness
the one.
me.
I'm the guy in a movie that is trying to get you to avoid going to the dangerous place by telling you literally how dangerous it is, and then
Uh-huh.
you go, "I should go there." um,
Oh.
fucking the girl wants to find out what happened to her mom and what happened to her grandfather. She has a super supportive friend who she does not deserve in any regard. Heart of gold, this woman. And then she has two scientist friends who want to go into the cave to research kind of the weird stuff that is rumored there, because what if the creature actually exists, or what could they find in this cave? So they bring the two the people, and then they have the two male friends, and one of them is the ex of the girl, and they're like, the only reason we brought him is because he's a cave diver of some sort. Like, he rescues people from caves or whatnot. So he's an expert at it. He's their expert. And then you have his friend who is also a cave diver in some regard, but he's only really there to motivate his friend to that they both get the women to be scared enough that they will protect them in the cave, and then they do a cave bang. That's basically him. He's the let's all bang in
Oh
this
my.
cave guy.
Yeah, how exciting.
Yeah. um and so they're driving along going to this way far out place. I think it's Scotland. Uh to this remote cave. And there's a town nearby, so they're driving there. And along the way, they see a hitchhiker on the road who's holding a sign that says bitch hiker. And the two guys up front go, "Oh my god, do you know who that is?" And they're like, "No, just keep going. What are you doing?" He's like, "That's the bitch hiker." And they're like, What do you mean?" He's like, "She's a travel blogger who basically walks on the road and then gets picked up by people, and then she does video vlogs about where they're going." And she travels all around Scotland and visits like weird places or whatnot. And I was just like, oh god, this is how this movie is gonna start. Because the moment she gets into that fucking car, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you are only here so that I hate you enough to die. um That is your purpose. And she just sits there and she's like, "Oh my god, my blog. I was going to a castle, but now I'm going to a cave to investigate a monster. Oh, and by the way, my friend's mother is missing. And if anyone here on my, if any of my followers know about the mom, let me know. And any help is worth it." And so the guys convinced the entire group she should come with us because she has fans and they'll help us find her mom. And I was
Mhm.
just like, "Yeah, god damn it. I've wanted to strangle her so bad."
So
Um,
badly.
so bad. So Gimli's whole point is that he is a doctor who, as a child, got maimed by the creature because he went within 10 feet of the cave as well. Um, and so he's been trying to prove that it exists this entire time. And so he's the one that convinced the grandfather to go in there. And then he was the one that told the mom about the cave and about the creatures and whatnot. And he's like, "I have too much blood on my hands. What I can't tell you about the cave or anything like that. Like, I've killed too many people already." And so they eventually go, "Look, with or without you, we're going in that cave." And he's like, "Okay, well, here are the rules." Um First he shows them the video of like the monster. He's like, "Do you still want to go in there?" And they're like, "Yes, that's probably fake." And he's like, "Well, it's not." Um and he's like, "The rules are you are not allowed to split up. You have to stay together. Uh and you have to get as much video evidence as possible and let me know immediately that you've gotten it." And then once you do, I will call in the cavalry. And they're like, okay. So they go to the cave, and the first thing they do is split up.
Look for clues, gang.
So they go with it. They go inside. They go 10 feet into this cave, maybe 20 feet, and they're like, okay. And the travel blogger is doing their blog, and they're starting to walk into this cave a little bit deeper. And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some footage, or I'm gonna do an update, or whatever." And the guy is like, "Well, we shouldn't be separated from the group." And she's like, "Well, you go on ahead. I'll catch up." And he goes,
Okay.
"Okay." And so he leaves, and she's sitting there by herself, and this creature, from its point of view, is like already coming towards her. And so he goes off, and they get within they get 40 or 60 feet into this cave, and then they're like, "Oh, there's two paths here. We should split up." And they're like, "Well, we shouldn't split up. We promised the guy that we shouldn't." And he's like, "Well, we're not going to split up. We're going to go in teams of 3. So it's not splitting up. We're still in a team. We just have 2 of us." And they're like, "Okay, I guess that makes sense. We'll do that." So they
Hmm.
split off into 2 teams, and the one guy's like, "Oh, well, wait. The vlogger we left behind, the bitch hiker." He's like, "Well, I'm going to go back for her." And the guy
Of
was like,
course.
"All right, you're gonna go back for her. You get some cave puss." And they're like, "Yeah!" They high five.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Well, what do we do about these 2 caves?" He's like, "Well, just pick one, and you'll just go down whichever one. You'll meet up with the people at the other side." He's like, "Okay." And so he goes off, and this girl's being attacked, and it's really cool. It's Sorry, let me rephrase that. It would be really cool. She
Hmm.
basically gets wrapped up like an octopus,
Hmm.
with and it's got like spikes all over its arms,
Oh.
and it basically like grabs onto her mouth and like rips off her jaw, and like blood
Oh.
goes everywhere, and then it like
Hmm.
shoves its tentacle down her mouth, and
Ow.
it's keeping her alive
While
basically
this is happening, yeah.
while this is happening, and it's just like slowly killing her. The scene, the death happens in like 10 seconds. The
Hmm.
scene takes about 5 minutes
Holy shit.
because every time that something happens to her, like a little movement or whatever, they cut back to the group, and the group goes, they're walking along and they're talking or whatever, and then it cuts back to the girl, and something else is happening to the girl, like the tentacles are getting
Holy
a little
shit.
tighter, and then it cuts back to the group, and and so she's slowly dying, and they keep doing constant cuts back and forth, and it's like, this is terrible. Like I can't keep up with how dumb this is. There's too many cuts here.
Too many
Um,
cuts.
and so basically, she eventually dies. We're gonna skip ahead a lot because
Okay.
nothing really important happens. You learn a little bit more about the creature based on your observations. So the creature devours the person and then kind of takes over their body. Like it attaches them to itself, which is where the collecting comes into play.
Yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
basically it can mimic their voice or mimic their movements or whatever, but it's still like a torso on top of an octopus. So it's not
Yeah.
like, oh, this creature can hide in plain sight. It's just, here's my friend that used to be, who's now sprinting at me in octopus form, yelling at me in his voice. So it's like the concept is very cool. Um and that's how the one guy dies, is that goes back for the vlogger, is because she's talking to him, and then he gets tricked, and then he dies, basically walking into a place that he shouldn't. It was really cool. His death kind of happens off screen.
Oh.
The
Yes.
group, the one scientist guy is like, "Oh wow, none of this stuff should be here. We're collecting samples." And like his assistant, or I think it's supposed to be his lover or something like that, dies horrifically. And I can't even remember what it was, but she gets like torn in half in front of him. And then he gets whip smacked in the chest, and you find out there's like multiple of these things, and they're running away with him, and eventually they escape. They've only gone like 50 feet into this cave at this point. They haven't really explored much. So I don't know how they get away because it's a straight line. But eventually they get away, and the guy kind of goes psychotic because he starts talking to them about how the creature has been here for thousands of years. It wants our bones, and it's like gonna take us all over, and we're all gonna die in this cave. Like, it starts spouting nonsense about the creature just because he got tentacle smacked. So he's just making all these it's just kind of weird. Um it was like, we need to lore dump about these creatures, but we don't know how. Quick, make the scientist guy crazy.
Yeah.
If they reach the nest basically where there's tons of these eggs. In this
Mm-hmm.
corner is what I can only describe as like alien jelly. Like if Jello was made of alien goo.
Okay.
Um in this pocket cave. It's such a cool effect. I swear that's where all the budget went. Some guy was like, I could make this. I will make a movie around it.
Yep.
It's got every dead person they've ever killed in here, and
Uh-huh.
all of their effects and whatnot. And they're basically like suspended in this jelly, but they're kind of like skeletons. So they're not like perfectly preserved.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really cool effect. And I'm like, that's not what I would have expected from this movie. Fast forward, the friends get attacked. There's only a few of them left. Uh, one of the main guys, I can't remember if it was I think it's the boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, is the only one left. The doctor, the main girl, and her best friend. They managed to get out of the cave and find out that the things can't stand light. It's
Okay.
nighttime, and they're like, "Oh wow, they can't stand moonlight either." Thing, um, So they're basically safe outside of this cave. So they set up a temporary camp 10 feet from the cave entrance. Um Instead of just leaving. The one guy runs off to go get a cell phone signal and calls Gimli, and he's like, "I've got proof." And he sends it to him, and the Gimli's like, "Perfect, I'll send in the cavalry." And he calls up this guy, he's like, "Blah blah blah blah. I finally have proof. Get your guys down there now." And it's like, okay, whatever. They get attacked by the creature who pulls the injured doctor guy away into the darkness. And then like her best friend dies saving her, and she's like, "No, you need to live for your mom." And the girl's like, "No, I can't let you go." And she's like, You have to leave me." And then she gets sucked into the cave by like 8 of them.
Ah!
Um and the girl eventually gets dragged into the cave by the creatures, and right before they kill her, she starts singing a song or humming a song that her mom used to sing, and for whatever reason that's never explained, the creatures fuck off. I don't know why. I guess because they couldn't figure out how else for her to live. Gimli's team shows up in
Uh-huh.
helicopters. They all have SWAT team labeled on their back.
Okay.
There's like one helicopter that they could afford, but suddenly there's like 16 dudes that show up. Um,
They all piled in a clown, fucking
they
clown
all file
helicopter.
into like a cloud car. Those guys, without knowing what they're facing, full on sprint into this cave with machine guns, no cave gear. I'm thinking like it's gonna be a slaughter. What the fuck is going on? They're planting cartoon TNT stick bundles throughout the cave,
Uh-huh.
um, as they're running along. And then they get to the girl right before she gets attacked by the monsters, and they just look at them and they're like, "Oh bloody hell!" And open fire! And they just and then into this cave. They're just it's just 10 minutes of gun flashes of the camera staring at the people that's shooting the gun. And then
Oh
every once in a
God.
while, it flashes
Yeah.
over to the monsters being shot, and then it just keeps on the guys that are shooting at them. And then they eventually get the girl, and they sprint out of the cave, and they blow it up. They blow up the
Mhm.
cave, and you think the movie ends there, and then the girl is in the hospital, and they're like, "Hey, you're pregnant." She's like, "What do you mean I'm pregnant?" And it's like, "Yeah, you're pregnant." And they do like an ultrasound, and they see a tentacle monster in there, and then suddenly it expands and pops out of her stomach, and then
Ugh.
bam, she wakes up in the back of the in a helicopter, and you're like, "Oh, okay, that was weird." And then it cuts to the SWAT team who get back to wherever they were, and like everyone but this one guy clears out of the room, and he sees his bag moving, and he opens the bag, and a tentacle monster pops out, and then it eats his face, and that's the end of the movie. um this movie was not great. Don't go into the cave. I don't know how many times I have to tell you.
Just don't do it.
I had to tell somebody. It was so bad. I have to tell somebody about
Well,
it
I'm
now.
glad you got it off your chest.
I wanted it to be good. I
We all
wanted
we
it.
all we all want things to be good, Meshi.
Did you watch Mummies Alive? It's a good
Okay,
show.
so I was looking into the Mummy franchise because I watched like a 20-minute video on the fall of the Mummy franchise, and I was like, you know what? I would like to like watch the Mummy movies again. And then I saw a picture while on a specific site typing in Mummy, and I was like, wait a
Uh-huh.
minute. That's that cartoon I watched as a child. I completely forgot about it. I love how all the animation budget went to the transformation sequences.
Oh
It looks
yes.
like they outsourced them to like an anime company. Uh, because then the budget falls immediately off a cliff. It's
Oh.
kind of great. They really tried to make let's kick some tut happen like every episode. Um,
You gotta have a catchphrase.
you know, it's got the tiger lady here is the sassy black girl from Codename Kids Next Door. There's a couple other voice actors that are pretty recognizable. Um, I watched about 4 episodes. It was kind of fun just in terms of like this was before the big mummy craze. This was before the movie happened. And some guy was just like, "Oh, let's make a mummy-esque superhero team protect this kid who's essentially Yugi, with the soul of the pharaoh in him." um yeah, they really tried to make let's kick some tut happen a lot.
Yeah.
Some of the banter is kind of great. They end up the mummies are on a mummy speedboat. Don't ask me how they got it. Well, they built the pyramid, so you can't ask any technology they have because clearly they have it. They're on a
Yep.
speedboat and they wake up a like earth god that's like responsible for like earthquakes. And they're looking at him, and the guy's like, "What? Do I look stupid?" And they're like, you tell him." There's some good stuff there. It's clearly like a kid show, but for me, it was kind of nice just reminiscing and like watching this fucking mummy cartoon, and I was like, I remember this. Um, you're aware of the show, Meshi?
I am aware of this show, and it had a kick-ass theme song.
I haven't heard the theme song yet.
What?
Yeah, there hasn't been an opening in the first like 4 episodes. I don't know if it's just the version I'm watching. They don't have an opening yet.
Oh man, they have like a really good opening. I'm surprised.
Hold on, let's find this out. Let's just find it out live right now. When's the last time you've watched this?
When I was a child.
That's what I'm saying.
I only remember it. Um, I don't remember anything about it other than like just kind of what it looked like. But I do remember the theme song was great.
I guess because the the pace of this show is breakneck fast. Like people are, it's just going. It's 19 minutes of the plot not stopping and the characters talking.
Oh yeah.
At least that's how it's starting out. Let's see.
A little boy named Presley found a secret out this year that he was once a pharaoh when Egyptians ruled the world and now the sorcerer named Scare tries to get him day and night.
Maybe I remember the beat more than I remember the lyrics.
There it is.
Damn it.
Yeah, yeah, Meshi, that's not great. I think that might have been the first time you heard a distorted guitar in your life, and you're like, "That's cool," and it's literally the worst sounding guitar of all time. Um, but
You
you can
know,
see like the magical girl transformation sequences is where the entire budget for the show went,
yep.
and you watched that transformation every single time.
Every
Um,
single time.
I don't. I know there. I know the big mummy with one arm is called Armon, and they make arm jokes a lot. Bro, the funniest part of this fucking show. So the mummies like resurrect right out of the art exhibit, and they follow the kid home to protect him. Right?
Right.
They're in his room, and the kid's like, "Okay, I gotta go talk to my mom. She just got home. Just watch this and don't make any noise." He turns on the TV, and it's an Egyptian movie. And there's a pharaoh, and he's like, "Bow before me," and all the mummies just get down and bow to the TV. It's so fucking funny.
Holy shit, that's great.
Oh, so you know, it's. I can't say that the show's amazing, but there's a couple parts that have really got me.
You know,
Shout outs to Mummy Live.
there's also an animated Mummy TV show that is based on the Mummy movies.
Yeah, that's what Royan was saying. Royan came in here earlier today because I was watching an episode while I ate, and he was like, "Wait, is this the Mummy animated show?" I was like, "No, this is Mummies Alive." I can't imagine that Mummy animated show being any good.
No, but that have you ever seen the Men in Black animated show?
Yes, which is pretty awesome. I remember it being
Yeah,
awesome.
that one they did a good job with.
I haven't played the PlayStation 1 video game based on the animated show. Or I rented it one time. All right, we watched another movie. Let's keep this party train rolling. We watched Send Help. This is a Sam Raimi joint.
What a movie. What an emotional roller coaster of a movie.
Rachel McAdams is probably one of the best actresses of all time. She played the cringy, socially awkward, delusional, like office girls too well. It genuinely was kind of like it was hard to watch because you feel awful for her. Oh man. Um
Yeah.
so
I don't even know how to describe it.
so like the movie or just her acting
Her.
like yeah, she's poor. She's just alone. She has a pet bird. She talks to it every day after work. She's just sad and alone. Her one
It's
dream was to get on like Survivor, the reality TV show. Um, this movie is almost like it's almost like female Joker a little bit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
kind
saying?
of.
Because it's
Yeah.
kind of like uh unappreciated, bullied nerd girl going for it and just kind of being like, well, if you're gonna be fucking mean to me, then
Roles
um
reversed.
yeah, you know. Oh my god, she hunts the boar down. That whole scene was just I've never seen me drag me to hell. I've wanted to. I hear people didn't like it, but
I don't think I've seen it either.
oh, we might have to watch it. Oh, the thumb in the eye. Jesus Christ. I'd like
Oh
this movie. Um
man. Yeah, I know. I enjoyed this movie. It was just it's almost a tough watch. But
there's
like an
some of it.
enjoyable tough watch.
Yeah, well, there's just a lot of things that end up happening that you're like, I don't want to look at the screen for this. For this moment in particular happening, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
there's quite a bit of that.
and every facet, it's either like, I don't want to watch this poor girl fumble with tuna fish on the side of her mouth and accidentally spit it onto the guy's hand. I don't
Ugh.
want to. I don't want to watch them be mean to her for the sake of being mean. I don't want to watch what she's about to do to this person. Bro, they're essentially they're on a business trip and they're going to like China, right? And the cabin just gets ripped open. This poor guy gets kicked in the mouth, his teeth fly out. Because he's holding on and one of the guys is trying to get him to let go. He kicks him in the fucking mouth, his teeth fall out, and he flies out the thing. The guy who kicked the one dude in the teeth goes out the window. His tie gets caught. He's getting strangled outside the plane, but his face is right next to the window of the plane. And he's like, "Help me!" Oh, good.
I think my favorite part about that was him grabbing onto the nerdy girl's foot and just being like, "Give me your chair."
So like, you don't feel bad for these people when like this plane crash is happening, but at the same time, it's like, holy shit. Um, if any of what we just said, I think interest you, it was a good movie. It's about 2 hours, but I didn't feel like it dragged on too long. Um,
No, it's definitely it has stuff that fills the gaps and stuff. Like nothing feels kind of wasted.
yeah, but I do not deal well with cringe.
Ugh.
It's one of those things where it's hard for me to watch people do cringy things, and the beginning of this movie was it's a little tough.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie is definitely tough. Well, I fucking aim, man.
Oh, so you watched a movie, and I don't know why you did. You watched Psycho
So
2?
yeah, so
Have you
I
even seen
found
the
out
first one?
a very long time ago, and I kind of get the know the gist of it anyway. I didn't. Um, I I basically found out there was a Psycho 2, and I was like, "What?"
What?
And then I find out that it's a whole series. They've made a lot of them.
I know
Um,
about the TV show,
I know there's a TV
The Bates
show, and
Motel,
there's like 2 or 3 additional movies, I think.
and that they did a remake at some point, I believe, the
I think they
90s, I
did a
think.
remake. Yeah. I can't remember. It's got quite a history. Um, the from what I
1998's remake of Psycho. Oh, sorry. Anyways, continue. With Vince Vaughn.
yeah, from what I understand, this is one of the better of all of what came out of there.
Okay.
Um, so and it is actually surprisingly good.
Oh, okay.
Um, and you would think like, how do you follow up Psycho, where Norman Bates is having a psychotic break and thinks his mom is talking to him, and he dresses up and murders people.
Yeah.
Um, and they actually do a good job. Basically, he gets instead of going to jail or prison for the murders, he basically gets out on what is it? Deal the plea of insanity.
Hmm.
And so he gets put into a mental institute, and after 20 years, he is cured. He gets a clean bill of health from his doctor. There's the sister of the person that he killed, the main woman whose name I can't remember, is there with a petition that's like, no, you can't release him. He's a murderer. What about her? What about his victims and stuff like that? And they basically kind of ignore her. They're like, no, you're not a lawyer, and your petition means nothing here. And so he's free to go.
Hmm.
And so he goes back to his house, and he still owns the motel that's right below that house. And the the guy's like, oh yeah, you have such and such that runs the motel, and we set you up with a job at this diner that was mentioned in the first movie, I guess. And he basically kind of seems kind of normal ish. He when he's walking up to the house, and the doctor's like, are you sure you want to come here, because this is probably going to bring up bad memories for you, it could trigger you. And he's like, I think I'll be okay. He's like, well, you now have the skills to deal with that. And the first thing he sees is his fucking mom in the window as he's walking up the stairs.
Oh fuck! You're like, oh, here we go.
He's like, oh, here we go. And he goes upstairs, and he kind of is exploring the house, and he's having these moments of like, oh, this happened in the past movie or whatever. And you kind of see he has like a flashback of him as a child, poisoning his mother's tea because she was abusing him, and then her dying, and that's kind of how it started him and whatnot. um
Hmm.
but basically, he starts his job at this diner. He meets this really old lady that's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the one that convinced the guy that owns this place to get you the job, because I believe I'm a Christian woman, and I believe everyone should be for forgiveness, and everyone gets a second chance and stuff like that."
Hmm.
And you meet basically the main woman in this thing, this movie, who is like a klutz, and she's going with boyfriend problems. And so Norman kind of latches onto her emotionally, because that's just kind of the guy that he is. And he meets her outside, and she's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend broke up with me, I have nowhere place to stay. And he's like, well, you could stay with me. And she's like, oh no, I probably have some friends. He's like, no, 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 I insist you should stay with me. I won't take no for an answer. And you're like, ooh, Norman, what the fuck are you doing? So anyway, this girl, having what would appear to be no social clue, or whatever you would call it, at all, survival
Awareness. Yeah.
instinct,
Hmm.
is like, okay. And so he takes her to the motel. He's like, I'm gonna get you set up with a room. And he kind of has a moment of like, oh, I'll put her in the one room that I put the lady that I put my victims in before I killed them. And then he's like, no, I shouldn't do that. And he gives her a different room, and he goes to check it. And then he comes back, and he sends her on her way. And he's like, you should go and stay in my house upstairs, up there. There's no good rooms here for you. And he finds out that the guy that's managing his hotel has turned it into a rented by the hour kind of place. And
Yes.
it's mostly teenagers that are going there to do drugs and whatnot. And he's like, and the guy comes around, and he's like, oh yeah, that's the only way this place can get business. Who else is going to drive 40 minutes out of town? It's like they're only the people looking for a good time, eh? No.
Hey, Norman.
And he's like, I had to chase out two teenagers from your basement, just a week ago. And he's like, you know what? You're fired. This is not the kind of motel I want running. And he's like, you psychopath. He kind of goes off on him. And so you kind of get the run. He basically, Norman does everything that he did in the first movie to the first woman in this, but without like the intent of murdering her. It's just kind of like showing his progress of like, oh, this is what I did to this woman. Now I'm kind of doing it again, but I'm not doing it maliciously. Like he like when he goes to reach for the poison tea tin, and he's like, no, 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 Norman, we're just gonna get regular milk. And so he gives her like a glass of milk, instead of
Mhm.
poisoning her with tea or like his mother. And he's kind of going through these things. And and this woman has no social cues or just no survival instinct whatsoever. Like she hands him a big ass knife. He's like, "Cut my sandwich for me, Norman." He's like, "Uh."
Okay.
And then while he's kind of being awkward, he's being really awkward around her. Like anyone else would be like, "I'm out of here." So you're really confused by this woman. And she's like, "Oh yeah, like I don't think I should stay here tonight." He's like, "Well, what do you mean you don't want to stay here?" And she's like, "Well, the person at the diner told me about you." And he's like, "Oh," he's like, "He told me you were in a mental institute or you were in prison or something like that." And he was like, "Well, did they tell you why?" And she was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, I killed my mother. Years ago, I was being abused and I poisoned her tea. Anyway, do you want tea?" And she's like, "No, I'm okay." Um, and then she leaves. The next day, she comes back and she's like, "You know what? I should stay with you." Um, Meanwhile, he's having visions of his mother, just kind of like looking at him or talking to him, uh, and you're like, "Oh, okay, he's kind of regressing." And then you kind of have clips of people dying, with the person dressed up like his mother was, and so you're getting the idea that he's kind of going back to his old ways or whatnot. And then you find out that the girl that he's with is the daughter of the person who was trying to get him to not be released.
Mhm.
Um and basically the mother is pressuring the daughter to help her drive him insane again so that he gets locked back up.
That's
And so
hilarious. That's okay. That's
they're
kind of good. Yeah.
they're the ones that are dressing up as the mom, and you know they're basically not playing pranks on him, but they're like waiting in the
Yeah.
windows or whatnot. They're setting up the rooms like his mother had it before they disappeared, and then like they trap him in the attic, and then they go back and they reset the room, and so it looks old. So he keeps thinking like, "Oh, my mother's talking to me," and he's kind of like being broken down bit by bit. um it's pretty good because eventually he truly believes his mother is alive again.
Hmm.
um
The gaslighting worked.
yeah, and basically the daughter halfway through their like tormenting of him realizes like, no, he's actually a really good guy now, and he's really changed, and the only reason that you know that he may go back is because we're literally forcing him to like regress. And so she grows a conscience and tries to fix what her mom is doing.
Hmm.
Um, but then you find out like the mother's not killing anybody. And you're like, okay, well then who's killing people? Is it Norman? Is whatever. And they they basically end up with the daughter refusing the mom going, well then I'll do it myself, and she goes into the basement, and then she turns around and gets a fucking knife through the eyeball,
Ooh.
in this like really great practical scene. Like no, actually she gets it through the mouth. um and you just see the knife go straight through the mouth and then out the back of the head. It's a great like effect, 1998 or 89 or whatever. And
Hmm.
so she gets like shoved into a corner and do like under this pile of wood. um and you see that the person that killed her was Norman's mom. But it's got that black silhouette over the face.
Hmm.
And the girl is so convinced that, or not convinced, but she wants to fix him, that but he's like, no, it's my mother. My mother's back. She wants me to do all this stuff. It's fine. It's like my mom is alive. And she's like, no, 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 Norman, it's not your mom. It was us. It was my mom. We were out to get you. Blah 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 blah. Doesn't believe her. His doctor comes back, and he's trying to help her or help him because he found out who the ladies were, and so he's trying to convince him that no, you're not being psychotic, that or you're not having a mental breakdown. These women are trying to whatever. and he's like on the second story of the house, and he opens the door, and some old lady just stabs him in the heart, and then he falls 2 stories off of the stairwell, and then in a great practical effect lands on the knife on one of the stair railings, and it just shoots right through him.
Ooh.
It's really good. Um, and the girl is there, and she kind of sees that, and she's freaking out, and she dresses up like Norman's mom to try and convince him that no, I'm actually dead, and like to undo it because his mom is the only one that he'll listen to, and the police are coming because they started to find all the dead bodies and whatnot,
Mhm.
and so Norman is like, "Oh, mother, you're alive," and she's all having this conversation with him, trying to fix him, and then she finds her mom shoved in a corner, dead, and so she starts attacking Norman with the knife, like stabbing him in the hands and being like, get back from me! You're actually, killing people
Yeah.
and whatnot." He's like, "No, I'm not, mother. What are you doing?" And so she kind of chases him into the basement, and then she goes to like stab him, and like the police show up and just gun her down. And so they're like, "Oh, Norman, you're actually innocent. It was these 2 women that fucking have been committing all these murders." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, that's right." And so the movie kind of well, it doesn't end, but like right there, but the diner old woman comes to see Norman like the next day, and she explains like, "Oh, I'm the one that got you the job, and I'm actually the person that you think is your mother is actually my sister. I'm actually your mother. She raised you for me because I didn't think I could do it. And I'm the one that's been protecting you this whole time." So you find out that this lady has been running around murdering everybody that's trying to hurt Norman. And he made her a sandwich, and he's like, "Oh, do you want some tea?" And she's like, "Oh, yes, Norman, I would love some tea." So he makes her some poison tea, um because he's and then he's like, "Are you sure you don't want a sandwich?" And she's like, "No, I'm okay, Norman, now that I'm with you." And then he just whams her in the back of the head with a shovel. and then and then basically carries her upstairs and puts her in the chair that his mother used to be in. And that's kind of how the movie ends. It
That's awesome.
it was a roller coaster of like, wow, that like I was like, how could they build upon Psycho and make it good? And they did it. It was good. It was a good little twist kind of thing in there.
Mhm.
It was good.
That's actually really surprising to hear. And as far as a twist goes, that's it. I'm actually like surprised, and I didn't even know that movie existed.
Neither did I. Fucking-
All right, so I watched. Oh, probably one of the most depressing movies of all time.
oh.
I watched Batteries Not Included. So this is a tale as old as time. A New York City apartment building's getting knocked down because a suit wants to make a giant skyscraper in the place of it, and that's the last place they need to knock down. But the residents don't want to leave. So it's an old couple. Wife has dementia. Old guy is a cook in a diner trying to make it work on the first floor. That guy is trying to burn down the first he comes in and tries to pay all the residents to leave. Like, hey, here's some money, get the fuck out so we can, knock it down. Suggesting, right? So he gets
Right.
hired by the big corpo to get them out of there. They're not leaving. The old guy is like, this is the only place my wife like literally remembers literally anything. Is where we spend all our time, and maybe she'll remember if she stays here. So I'm going to be buried in this place. And he's
Fair
not
enough.
leaving. The large man in the back here is a old heavyweight boxer who has received so much brain damage he can only talk with phrases he hears on the TV. Otherwise, he's silent. And that's depressing. So this is supposed to be a movie of like, oh, these tiny little spaceships fly in and are going to help them save their thing. It's supposed to be the kind of a fun, wacky, whatever time, and it ends up being kind of a sad thing where the old lady views the guy who's trying to burn the place down as her son that died in a tragic accident. So she thinks like, oh, he's come home, and he's like, no, that's not him. But she won't be convinced otherwise. Meanwhile, these little floating spaceship things end up grabbing more scrap metal and making tiny robots, and they're supposed to be cute. Um,
So are these
Meanwhile,
things aliens or?
I don't know. Honestly, they kind of just show up.
Gotcha.
You know, the boxer heavyweight ends up performing like CPR on the little one, stealing it away because it came out and it powered down immediately, and the two parent robots get really sad. He takes it downstairs and starts messing with it, trying to get it to work. He takes apart his own TV, the only thing that he uses to communicate with the world or have any connection to it anymore after his boxing career. Scraps it, trying to take parts to make this thing work again. He actually drops in some water, some chemicals, and some electricity, and it comes back to life, so he saves its life. Meanwhile, the Corpo hires another guy to burn the building down with gasoline balloons to make it look like an accident. And it's about to go off, and the first guy was like, oh my god, the lady's still inside the building. And he goes up, hey, I'm your son, blah, 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 blah. Come on, Mom, we have to leave, we have to go. And then he ends up saying something like, the old lady's like, have you spoken to your father? And he was like, yeah, good old dad. And she's like, wait a minute, you're not my son. They didn't get along. Who are you? And it's this terrible breakdown scene in the middle of her trying to get escorted out. She's breaking down and crying and running away. The building's about to explode. It's just sad. It's supposed to be a fun time of, yeah, you stick it to them. Don't let the corpo people run you out of the town. Meanwhile, these people's lives are kind of miserable and sad. And yeah, eventually at the end of it, these robots help fix everything up and bring it up to code while they come to investigate whether it should be knocked down, and they get to live there afterwards. And she falls back into her dementia, and then the movie ends, and it's just kind of sad.
Oh, think they couldn't cure her of her dementia.
Well, it's she's happy again, but she's delusional and it's dementia, so you feel bad watching it. It's good for her that she's like, I'm okay with this happening again.
Can I be honest? I feel bad because the only thing I can think of now is Dementia the Dice.
Dementia the dice. Oh, Roa, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Mods. Let me get a shout for Roa. I went on my depression rant about batteries not included, and that's a phrase that this guy utters, and whenever the robot baby comes out stillborn.
Oh my god! Wow.
It's just it's supposed to be New Yorkers banding together, and it's just kind of like, oh, you people's lives are so fucking sad. God damn. And the old man is having a breakdown in the middle of his kitchen, like throwing a bowl against the wall because his wife is falling further into dementia. He's having like a breakdown and crying for the first time in 30 years. Like, there's nothing fun about this movie.
Where's my feel-good movie? It's got little robots in it.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. It just wasn't what I was expecting, right? Like, you go into it, you're like, oh, it's gonna be fun. And it's like, oh my god, like, this is like fucking sad.
Damn.
Would recommend. You know, damn. Sorry, it took me off guard because it's like, oh, let's watch this. This looks like it could be fun, and it's like, this wasn't fun at all. The last thing too, like the lady is seeing. Oh my god. So the alien little spaceship robot things show up to the apartment complex, right?
Yeah.
The old lady's the only one who sees them. So she's trying to tell them, "Oh, the fixers, they're here." And they just think that she's lost it. And the old man is not taking it well. She's like, "No, no, no, they're just really shy." And he ends up like confronting her on the rooftop with all the neighbors around, just being like, "You don't say anything." and, and it's just fucking sad. And then she's like, "Well, whatever," and throw something into the shed, and then they all see the robots for the first time. But, having those conversations in front of people is just sad anyways, and then it's really emotional. Would recommend. They're about to take off in the rocket. And he's like, "I forgot the crackers." And he rushes out of the rocket to go get the crackers. Oh,
Plus, they're
beautiful.
just such good characters. Like,
Oh, how can you be mad at an old British guy and his dog?
you just can't. How about
It's
some
just
tea, Gromit?
love it. Okay, this is a movie. This is where we're going to end our podcast.
Oh, yeah. Good luck.
Tell me about
Have
this movie,
fun.
because let me tell you what I thought.
Okay, go ahead.
When I saw the trailer for this movie, I thought this was gonna be kind of cringy, like corporate execs can like reach the kids with, "We understand what you're talking about with your memes and stuff. We're gonna make a movie that's gonna appeal to y'all." Um, so Meshi, how did this movie turn out?
Uh, Better than I thought.
Okay, good start.
It does not take itself seriously in any regard, and Sam Rockwell does a very good job of having a good blend of, am I a time traveler or am I actually just insane?
Just a hobo. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this movie opens up with him basically busting into this diner and just giving this very long-winded speech about everyone being on their phone and not caring about what he's doing, and and then he like looks around the room and he's like kind of because I had no idea what this movie was about when I saw it. And I was like, where the fuck is this speech going? And then he like whips around and he's like, and I've been in here 119 other times. um and I was like, what? And then he's like, I'm a time traveler. And it's like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then he just
Uh-huh.
kind of goes on, continuing the rant. And then he like opens up his vest and he's like, I've got a bomb. And it's got, it's basically, he's got C4 and stuff strapped to him. And he's like, oh, now you're all paying attention to me. And he basically is just telling them all like, AI is there's an AI that's about to be born, and it's going to basically ruin the world. Basically Skynet, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, and a less evil version of Skynet. Well, evil in its own way. It's basically Skynet, but I want to put people in the Matrix. But the Matrix is not a machine that you're strapped to. It's just a fake reality that I'm building for you in the real world. It does not explain itself, and that's fine because I feel like if it explained itself any further, it wouldn't work. Um and that's basically his whole pitch. He's like, I've been here 119 other times. I've been told by the scientists that set me back that there's a group of people, there's a select group of people combination in this diner that will help me destroy the AI. I have a device that has all these safeguards in it, and we have to find the AI before it is born, and we have to upload these safeguards so that it doesn't basically end the world. He's like, there's a group of you in this diner that will help me get there.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically goes through like the selection process, and like, you know, there's this one guy that's like, he has his back to him, and he like raises his hand, and the guy immediately like like not even looking at him, points his hand at him. He's like, not you. You volunteer every goddamn time, and every goddamn time you are the worst. He's like, no more. Put your hand down.
You are the worst.
And then you know, because you're trying at this point in the movie, you're trying to figure out like, is it real? Does it only take place in this diner? Like, what's going on right now? And then he kind of throws in little hints that maybe he is actually a time traveler. He starts being like, "Oh, you have that exact amount of change in your pocket. You have a gun in your belt. You are, you know, you're on a date night because, you know, such and such did this earlier today." You know, he's kind of throwing out those little random facts and whatnot. And he eventually gets a group together, and um at that point it kind of turns into a little bit of a comedy movie because the police show up, and um it's like, they're like, well, you're the time traveler, how do we escape? He's like, well, going out the back door is probably the worst thing that's ever happened. He's like, not much of us live that way. He's like, going on the roof, that one didn't work either, you died. He's like, going out the front door. And then it goes to like the flashback of them trying to go out the front door, and like as they were leaving, the police showed up and then basically gunned down everybody but him while
Yeah.
they were leaving the diner. um and so while he's making these you know, decisions and whatnot, uh like halfway through it, they're flashing back to the people in the groups day earlier. I think it was either the day before or that morning or whatever. They're flashing back to it. And the first one is um the guy that's from Ant-Man and like the girl that he's with.
Mhm.
Um and he's a substitute teacher, and he's supposed to be teaching all these kids, and the kids are basically, it's the adults that are like, everyone's always on their phone, blah blah blah, we can't even do anything to these kids. They're all nut jobs or whatnot.
Mhm.
And like all the kids are just constantly on their phone, they're ignoring him. It's like a very weird, you get in a very weird vibe from it. And then like teachers start disappearing one by one, and all the teachers are like, oh yeah, they're taking a sabbatical, it's fine. And he's like, oh, that lucky bastard. um and the substitute teacher Louise is like, teachers don't take sabbaticals, what are you guys talking about? um and then eventually he like looks over the shoulder of one of the kids who's on their phone, and he just like is staring intently at it, and he's just like lost in it. And then
Mhm.
for whatever reason, he just like slowly goes with his finger, slowly reaches towards the phone and then like touches it. And like a little weird pyramid shows up, and then like all of the kids all simultaneously like look at him, and then just slowly start to chase him while looking at their phones. And it's like, what the fuck? And he's trying to get away, and they're like, he's like locking doors, and he's barricading all the doors or whatnot, and they're like destroying them trying to get to him. And like he eventually escapes, but it's like, okay, something really fucking weird is going on. And then, you know, it cuts back to the present, and they're getting out of the diner. There's a Boy Scout leader group who has the gun in his back pocket, and he looks at him. He's like, okay, so you're going to go outside and you're going to distract the cops so we can all get away. And he's like, why me? He's like, oh, because you're the hero. You're gonna, tomorrow morning you're going to go to your Boy Scout crew and tell them how much you saved the world tonight. You are going to be an inspiration for them. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be the inspiration. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he like hypes him up, and he goes outside, immediately gunned down by the cops. And he looks at the rest of the group. He's like, yeah, that happens about 3 out of 4 times. All right, let's go this way. It's- and so they're like,
Good
you
bit.
mean you just let him die? He's like, he's died before, it's fine. Um and like they eventually escape. They're going on this like weird adventure, and weird stuff starts happening. They start getting chased by guys in animal masks that are like out to kill
Okay.
them. And like
Mm-hmm.
it flashes back to one of the women that are in the group, and she's a mom, and her previous day was sitting in her car crying. And you're like, why is she crying? And she opens up the door, and she's at a high school, and like people are being rushed outside of the school, and there's ambulances and cop cars everywhere. And you're like, oh, that's
Ooh.
why she's crying. And then she
Yeah.
sees her kid on you know, fully covered in a bed sheet, not a bed sheet, but hospital sheet
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's having a freak out. and and then like these three moms walk up to her, and they're like, oh, she goes to the school that afternoon, and they're having like interviews or something. It never really explains what's going on. And these three moms who are chatting, and they're like, oh yeah, he's, your son died too. He's like, oh yeah, 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 he died. And then it's like, why are they being so casual about it? And they open, and then they look at her, and they're like, first time. And she's like, what do you, yeah? And they're like, oh, sweetie, you poor girl. Here, take this card, give him a call. Everything will be fine. And it's
Mm.
like, what? And so she goes into this building the next day, and it's a it's a place where they can clone your kid for you. And they have like this really, it's dark in, like the guy is like a salesman who's like, I don't give a fuck that your kid died. I'm just here to get you to pay me money, and then we're going. He's like, they're like, oh, my kid's name is Brandon. He's like, Brendan, let's go. And so she's like, no, Brandon. He's like, oh yeah, I thought that's what I said. You're right. And he's like, so you can make my kid again? He's like, yeah, yeah, we can. He's like, even like, what about his personality and stuff? He's like, ooh, that one's a little tough. Haven't really cracked that one, but we can build him however you want, and then we just kind of add in personality based on characteristics that you choose. But visually he'll be your kid, and then we just build him however you want. And they take her in the back room, and they show her these list of like attributes that she could do. And he's like, so what is your kid like? And she's like, well, and she's flashing back to her kid and whatnot. She's trying to describe him to him. He's supposed to be like one of those, like, she ends up using the word weird, and he's like, are you sure you want weird? And she's like, yeah, he was a weird kid. Because he liked monsters and anime and stuff like that. It was,
Mhm.
whatever. And that's how she described it. And he's like, okay. And then he clicks onto the next page. He's like, the fewer the better, really. And then like he looks, he's like, what else would you describe your kid as? And she looks at the screen, is like, why is unhinged one of the options? He's like, oh, that's for the shooters. Um, but
Jesus. Yeah.
the government pays for those ones, so it's okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, whoa, okay. And so she picks all of these like stuff for him, and basically she gets her kid cloned, and he's like, well, if you can't afford the cloning process outright, you can get a discount, and your kid will give you an ad once per day. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean? He's like, oh, he's gonna tell you an ad. It'll be something that you're interested in. It'll last about a minute or two, and it'll be very, very like uh not normal, but like it'll make sense in your day to day routine. Like it's just not gonna come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, but she never decides. He never shows you what it is. And they're driving down the road, and she's like, oh, how are you doing? It's like, do you want anything? You hungry? And he's like, how about some raspberry tea? She's like, oh yeah, we could do that. Where, I wonder where that is. Like, you could get that at the 7-Eleven, because I love raspberry tea. Raspberry tea is delicious with antioxidants to help you out through the day. And she's like, oh, okay. And she like goes back to the house, and like the next day there's like, she's just bought a shit ton of raspberry tea for her son, because that's all he talks about is this fucking raspberry tea every
Oh
goddamn
God.
day to
Yeah.
her.
Mm-hmm.
um Anyway, sorry. It's just that it's basically like the you're getting this like Sam Rockwell is just being a crazy hobo, and then you kind of get these past stories that are mixed into him being crazy, where you're like, wait, this world is really fucked up.
Mhm.
And as it kind of goes along, weirder and weirder things start happening. And
So
eventually they get.
where does this movie end up?
I apologize, I'm getting off track. Um, the movie ends cliffhanger style
Oh,
because effectively they win, but they don't win.
I
So,
see.
um, he they think they win, and then Sam Rockwell's like realizes that the AI has tricked them, and so
Mhm.
he looks at the group and he's like, "Yeah, you guys are gonna save the world, but just not this one." And he teleports back into time,
Damn.
and it basically tells you that every universe that he teleports back in time from still exists. um so like all the crazy shit that happened, or all the people that
Mhm.
died, or like all the weird shit that's been going on, like still happens, and he's just going to another parallel
To
world.
try to do it right that time, but that one is
Yeah.
fucking yep.
Yeah, and it's kind of horrific in that regard, but
Mhm.
it just kind of ends there with him starting the diner scene over again. um and I'm like, it felt not super satisfying, but at the same time I'm like, how else are you gonna end kind of a movie like that?
Mhm.
um yeah, it was enjoyable. It's a good comedy dystopian future movie.
Mhm.
I would recommend it just for Sam Rockwell, who,
Shout outs to Sam.
yeah, he's a good actor. I ranted a little bit too
I
long.
might give it a gander. We'll see. We'll see. I think that was the last one, wasn't it? Okay. All right. If you're still watching on YouTube, please subscribe. My Twitch link will be down below. You can watch us do this every Saturday at 11 p.m. Central Time, and we'll see y'all in the next podcast. Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye.